you guys. How are you all? Let me know if you can hear me. So today we are going to have more of a laid back conversation. I wanted to bring you guys out here and start our conversation watching the sunsets because I don't know. I just wanted to. I thought it would be cool. We're going to hang out. I have two things I want to talk about today. And really, it's just kind of what I've been watching all day and listening to while I was kind of out doing the things I need to do. Let me know if you can hear me. And yeah, I think we'll just hang out. Hopefully the wind's not too loud. And yeah, let me see here. Let me say hello to you guys. Let's see. Hey, Sparkles, K-Braze, Mayla's mom, Roro, Taylor with Stitchin', Bitchin', and True Crime, Sexy Wild Thing, McLovin' Freaking Babyface Claws, Nadie, Occasionally Good Tara, MK, Tiffany, good to see you. Hey, Claudia. It is super nice out here today, but I just hope it's not too windy. Yay, Sparkles, thank you. Hey, Stacy. I have 2 memberships to this channel, but look, you're gray. Awesome, Nay. Hey, Glowbug. Hey, Mama Four. I have some things to say. Hey, Olive Love. Queen Bella, good to see you. Hey, AC. Hey, Natasha. I'm going to the beach tomorrow, and I'm going to take you guys out for some chats on my phone there, too. But, yeah, I have some things to say. I don't know. I'm sad today with everything that's happening. So I want to talk about, there was a new interview with Seth. And I don't necessarily want to talk about the interview. People have played that with Sebastian Rogers' dad. People have played it nonstop. And, you know, I think probably you guys have seen it. Let me know if you have. But I want to talk about kind of how my day went watching some of the coverage of that interview. I want to talk about some of the comments and how how I feel about it. And then I want to shift into Chad Daybell and what happened in court today, specifically because I have a point to make with it and because it's what I was watching all day and I have a lot to say. I got some things to say. And so let me see. Hey, Shauna. I need some beach in my life. I'm going to take you. Hey, Crystal. I'm going to take you to the beach, girl. Hey, Sprinkled Donut. I can hear you on my way on a dolphin. You guys, the other day, hey, Mandy, I was out here. Hey, Cujo, Teacup. And I was talking about the dolphins that will swim up here and how my cousin who passed away loved them so much. And usually they don't come until like July. And what do you know? There was like 10 of them, but they were so far out there. I tried to get some footage of it, but it's pretty hard to see. But yeah, it is super peaceful. So let's see, how many of you guys have seen the interview? Yeah, with Bullhorn Betty. It's a new interview with Bullhorn Betty, and it's been reviewed, you know, all over. That was a shit show. Hey, Adrian. We are still waiting. Hey, Melissa Jade. Good to see you. I got some things to say. Say them, damn it. Hey, Scout. I'm definitely going to. We're going to hang out and kind of go through it all. I sobbed all afternoon. The amount of unparalleled losses everyone endured because of those 2 is astounding. There was a moment where Colby said, I am motherless, fatherless, brotherless, and sisterless. And that just, oh my God, it just hurt my heart so much. And, you know, we get to see firsthand how these families feel listening to these impact statements and what they've been through. And I have a point to make because there have been, you know, problems within people with the family. This is the thing. When you're, just like with Chris and Katie and Seth, when you're going through something so traumatic as the loss of a loved one, a child specifically, your child being missing, you're going to be on it. Fights are going to happen. There's going to be problems. But I don't think that we should be encouraging it. And look, it's happened in both cases. You know, it's crazy to hear all the things that people are saying. I got to be honest, I've been pretty like disappointed, not with like, so there are some channels who haven't done this, you know, not even, I've just heard it from random places, to be honest. So I'm not specifically talking about anybody, and some of the comments I'm going to talk about are not even made by people with channels, but I want to talk about some of the things that are like, look, you have this whole community that really grew and became such an awesome place because they were standing up for what was happening to these parents, to these families, right? And I know that people may have their opinions on like the anti-tragedy channels in the communities and stuff, but they grew for a reason because there was a need for it. And now it's interesting to see there's a shift happening where people are being really hard on Seth. I mean, I took some notes. Some of the things that I heard, I was just absolutely disgusted by. People calling him a sick fuck, people theorizing that maybe he has Sebastian and stuff like that. I don't understand it. I don't know how and people can think it's so wrong to go after Chris and Katie. It's wrong to go after all of them. They're all grieving. They're all going to say shit that they don't mean. They're all going to get in bad moods and fight. And I'm sad. I see that. And then I switched and I'm listening to the victim impact statements at Chad Daybell's trial. And I'm like, my God, the suffering and the loss, it's so large. You cannot even put it into words. No wonder these families are arguing and stuff like that. These people are arguing. And I don't know. It's a whole thing. Let's see. Hey, Fiddle Dee. What you cooking for dinner? Hey, Angie. Miss Riley. Let me see here. We occasionally have Seal swim up. That would be so cool. I would love to see a seal. Yeah, he went on Bullhorn Betty. Stacy, we're going to go to my laptop in a few minutes. And, we could look at a few things if you want. And I want to show maybe a few clips of the victim impact statements. I just wanted to hang out with you guys out here first. The interview was infuriating. Okay, so I got some questions to ask you guys about this interview because, okay, so at one point, Seth is saying that Sebastian was confused basically about what an ass whooping was or whatever. And so he showed him at 5 years old Mortal Kombat. And I'm curious how you guys think about that because I heard people today being, there was something that jumped. I heard people today being really critical of that. And I thought, well, damn, I must be a bad mom because Bentley at a very young age was like, The Walking Dead is his favorite show. He's 7, but he freaking loves zombies and stuff like that. He's just that kind of kid. My 14-year-old will not watch The Walking Dead. Like, he's scared of it. Like, so kids are different. And I just listened to some of these people criticize these parents, and I'm like, if my kids went missing, everybody'd be blaming me too. Because, like I said, I don't know. I don't think that that's the end of the world, the worst thing you could do. But that's just me. Hey, Christina. And I want you guys to know, hey, Cutie Pie, we're all friends here. You guys that come in, you are welcome to have any opinion you want. It does not have to agree with me, and that's not going to make me like you less or whatever. I like when people challenge what I'm saying or kind of give me something to think about. So please feel free to do that. We have cicadas. I think everybody has them, don't they? Hey, Leslie, thank you. Well, it's my mom's home. I just live next door to her, but I don't have the most beautiful view here that she does. And thank you. Let me see if you guys have any thoughts on that. I was kind of behind. He is gross on his own. Sorry. Who, Seth? Well, here's the thing, though. You don't have to like somebody, but should you, because there are people accusing him of being involved. And like I said, there was this whole movement of how wrong it is to do this to families and stuff. And then you see the things that are being said about Seth, and I don't know. Hey, Warrior Princess. We're going to Hatteras soon. I was ugly crying as I listened. I was crying too. I was thinking, went to the impact statements. It just made me think of my beautiful baby that was in the back seat with me when I was listening, and my older baby and the little girl that is that I'm taking care of that, isn't technically my baby, but she is my baby now, and I don't know, man. I don't know. Seth puts out the worst things about his son. I would not want to come home to that. Well, Craig, I don't disagree. I think some of the things that have been put out shouldn't have been, but here's the thing. He has been encouraged by people who he has been encouraged to do that, and by these people that this whole community, if you will, this like anti bad actor, anti tragedy pimp community, has pointed out these people. These people are awful. These people are exploitative. And then Seth gets with these people and he acts like an ass. Like I'm not surprised. That just makes me I have sympathy for all of them. And I seriously think that most of the people that are accusing them would, a lot of the things that are being said are just, I don't know. I think that we'd all be accused. I thought I was ready for this, but listening to the impact statements really touched my heart. We're going to get to that, sweet Melissa, and me too. I don't know. I do not have my feet in the water. It's like, I don't want to show you because I don't want to drop my phone because I don't have it in the patch, but it's like a good couple feet from the dock that I'm on. I did bring this little bag. It's like it was an Easter basket bag of Bentleys, and I put drinks in it and cigarettes and a vape. But that's it. Thank goodness for your melts, Nay. My husband broiled burgers and the smell is so yuck. I don't like what Seth was saying about Katie. I don't like what any of them are doing, but so that's kind of what I was thinking today when I decided I wanted to talk about all of this and kind of in conjunction, the impact statements with what's happening with Sebastian's case, because some of the family members have had online arguments in both cases. And I think that it's the high amount of stress and all that, like the relationship probably wasn't great to begin with. And people have all these, I'm not even really sure why it matters though with their relationship, because look, the police have come out multiple times and said there is no signs of foul play, and the parents are cooperating to the fullest extent. So if nobody thinks that they were involved, then, which some people are accusing them all, and it's just awful. I'm sorry, I hate to see it. But if you don't think it was them, then really it doesn't matter. Like, we all have fucked up relationships, right? I don't know. That's kind of how I look at it. I'm changing as I grow as a person and a channel and that kind of stuff. And it's just, these are my thoughts as I change. I just wanted to share with you guys. He is horrible. I haven't watched it. I'm trying to stay away from all that stuff, honestly. Hey, Sandy Jersey girl. I think it depends on the child. I'm very critical of that. What, the video things? Like the Mortal Kombat? Yeah, okay, I'm way behind in chat. I am so sorry, you guys. That video game beatdown is unaliving people at 5 years old. It's not okay, especially when you're attacking others' parenting. Well, I think if you're attacking others' parenting, then, people are going to criticize yours. But like I said, my kids are just so different. And one of them at a young age, like, he's very into zombies and that kind of stuff. And it just, I don't know. I don't think it's a good thing, but I also think it's not even really that important to the case. Like, at the end of the day, I don't believe any of the parents were involved, but I also think that, I think that Katie and Chris obviously had to have been doing a decent job with him, or he wouldn't have wanted to stay there. But I don't know why, you guys tell me, why is all of it relevant? What happened to me? Natasha, yes, I'm on it's the Sound. So it's where the ocean meets the river. But how do we ignore Seth saying the things he does about Katie? Hmm. I don't know that you need to. I don't think it needs to be ignored. I don't know where I'm at with it. Well, hold on, and I'll give you some examples. But let me see just a second. I want to get to the bottom of the chat. Mabel's mom, you freaked me out for a second. Seth has very bad judgment of people over analyzing of everything. That's exactly what's happening. Every single little thing. A lot of it doesn't even matter. If we look at other cases, like for instance, one that we've all talked, a lot of people on this channel know very well, Letitia Stalk's trial and everything that came out at trial versus everything that was being said on social media before. There were people coming out saying Al was involved, neighbors, like a friend, Gannon's friend's mom. There were major accusations, so many things being picked apart for hours and hours and hours every day that were not relevant at all. So then it starts to make me think, well, what's even the point of it? Is it just like, I don't know. I just don't know. It's something I want to discuss with you guys because it really has me thinking. I've always said if my child had ever gone missing, they would have had a ton of stuff to drag me through the mud. And I think I did as good a job as I could have raising my kids. That's so freaking sad. But the same for me. Look at me. So I've been doing good the last few years, but I was in active addiction, making a complete ass out of myself on Facebook, in person, wherever. And I struggled really bad. It was hard. I clawed my way out of that. I truly felt like I was in like this dark hole and I clawed my way up. And half the time there was somebody up there stepping on my hands when I got to the top or kicking them back down. Like that's how it felt. People could tear me apart. And I'm the same as you. I do my best every day. I'm not perfect, but I love the hell out of my kids and they're the only thing that matters to me at the end of the day, right? That's the number one thing. Everything we do is for our kids. Working, just everything. You stay away from the water with that damn phone. There's a difference to me if a child shows interest in shows, etc. Parent as you want, but to show it to a 5-year-old and say this is a beatdown, my counseling experience, that's a no. Well, I got to be fair. I agree with you. I think there is a difference between if your child shows interest in it and wants to see it versus that. Oh, Selena, it is really relaxing sometimes, unless there's a lot of kids out here screaming and fighting. No, I didn't, Nobellis. Hey, by the way, I didn't know that. Seth sounds like he's on prescription drugs and maybe a little too much. I hope he isn't using it as a crutch. Can't blame him. Been there, done that, 8 years clean. Well, I'm proud of you, Sandy Jersey girl, but I tell you what, if there is any problems like that on any side, I think a missing child would only exacerbate that, right? And then we have all these people who want to get him online every single day because it brings the views and the attention. And then every time he gets online, it's picking apart everything he says. Same with Chris and Katie. How is it right either way, though? I don't understand. Like, to me, that's where I get lost. Like, here's the thing. If one of them is arrested and charged with murder, then okay, let's pull up every interview that they've done and pick it apart and analyze all the words that they've said, or arrested with kidnapping even, or something like that, arrested for something like that. Well, I leave the house, I would die there. Cray, you mean Chris and Katie? Well, they weren't safe, that's for sure, staying there, you know what I mean? I think they weren't equipped at raising a child on the spectrum. My stepson was 7 and we loved playing Mortal Kombat. He is now 37 and never shown any violent tendencies. Hey, Grandma Sherry, good to see you. Thank you for rejoining, Mrs. M. It's not relevant. You ask our opinions. None of this is helping find Sebastian. Yeah, I do want your opinions, but I am curious, like, is this, how much of it is relevant? And like I said at the beginning, even if you completely disagree with me, that doesn't mean I like you less or anything. It doesn't make me mad. I like to be challenged with that stuff, but I'm just hitting a wall. I backed away from the case. Too much drama. I don't care for any of them. Well, now it's getting involved with YouTuber drama and weapons and illegal. I mean, my God, like not just YouTuber drama, like in relationships with YouTubers with the, all dating the same people. I don't know. It's just, it's so sad that, and also imagine Sebastian sitting back and watching, like even just watching the interviews. Oh my God, how embarrassed, it truly does hurt my heart. Hey, Pass. The whole thing just makes me wish Sebastian would come home and then go live with a loving, supportive family. Oh, Charlie, thank you for joining. Thank you, Abellis. Oh, I'm happy to be able to hang out here with you guys for a little bit. The nerve of TikTok Tony. I mean, I'm sorry, but to me, he just looks like a freaking predator or somebody, like an opportunistic predator. Not necessarily like physically. And that's just the way I feel about it. I'm sorry. I hope to not offend anybody, but he totally seems like an opportunistic predator. Hey, Amber. Oh, thank you, Natasha. And I'm proud of you too. And I appreciate that. Hey, other Amber. I need coffee while you're by the water so I can pretend to be there while I drink it. Okay, May. Hey, Will B. Well, I want to go to the computer in a few minutes, but I've been deeply meditating this past week to have a spiritual awakening as I am going through a rough stretch. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Aries. Hey, Nate. People forget that a good majority of the nasty statements coming from these parents are from anger. The anger comes from fear. Many of us yell at our kids when they do something dangerous. It's fear. Oh my God, that is such a great point. And, Nate has been very vocal about this and putting it in a lot of chats. 111 in here. That just makes me think of Gannon. But Nate has been very vocal. She had a missing child at one point. Thank God it ended in a positive result and a good result. But also, she said, like, you guys, until you're there, you just don't know how you would react. I feel like I would be so stressed. I would definitely probably relapse. And I'm sure everybody could pick apart, because sometimes I'm a mess and I get on here and I don't ever like plan out exactly what I'm going to say. I'll maybe jot down a couple words, like points I want to hit on, which I did today. And I'm going to get to that in a second with both cases, like both situations. But I just talk from my heart. I just talk from my head. And sometimes I say stupid shit. I misspeak. I say shit that doesn't make sense, like bad. And especially if I'm like awkward and nervous, then I'm going to be like the most weirdo person ever. Like, I could tell you so many funny stories of me saying totally awkward shit to people I don't even know, like telling people I love them when I don't know them. And like I'm awkward. So I know that my words could totally be picked apart, without a doubt. I've always been very open with my children about everything and have allowed them to play games and watch videos that not all would, but I think I've been a decent mom. I know you are. Clickbait is definitely out of control. Okay, so I'm not at the bottom of the chat, but I'm just going to skip there for a second because I want to get to a couple points. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so I'm sure that probably kicked me, but okay, first thing. Some of the things that, like, I can see people criticizing Seth to a degree, but calling him a bitch, a fat fuck, a stupid fuck, I just think that's too far. But one of the things I really wanted to talk to you guys about that I felt like I could have some insight on was the medication situation. So, and I know people are going to have very major opinions on this, and please feel free to do it, and don't get upset with each other over it, because this is a tough thing to talk about. So Sebastian was on medication for ADHD. I believe it was Ritalin, but I might have that wrong. And when he would be with his mom and Chris, he would get his medication. But if he would be with Seth, he wouldn't give him the medication. Scout says, I'm over Seth. If you're awkward and you know it, clap your hands. Me for sure. Debbie. But here's the thing. I don't know. Let me just stop. I'm going to stay on this subject of medication. Hey, Okie. Oh my God, Allie, I talk to strangers all the time as if I know them. Gave a woman 2 candies yesterday. Oh, yeah. I am very awkward. Terrible to say, but I know it would be the truth. Let me see. I really am not familiar with Sebastian's case, but to build off what Nate said, me and my husband are together, and it would be so hard for me to not blame him if something happened to our boys. Are together or aren't? Oh, well, I'm telling you what, if one of my kids got injured with their dad, I would be mad as hell at them too, or if they got missing with them. Like, you can understand why these people are angry with each other. But I think that we should just support them all and not like fuel the fire, because at the end of the day, Sebastian, it doesn't help him for them to be so angry with each other like that, you know? I'm awkward, Little Red. We're awkward twinsies. Thank you, Nay. I love you back. And I don't think you're a mess, so I can't say so are you. Hey, Music City Mom. The sun setting on the water. It is so pretty, ain't it? My son was ADHD, Ritalin, etc. is usually not recommended on the weekends. Wow, Solo Sock. Interesting. So, because some people were saying how awful it was for him to not have it on the weekend, but during the week. Clinically, not taking medication consistently affects the brain chemistry. Not good going on and off. I can agree with that. It would be an up and down, you know. I don't care much for any of them, Aries said. Good evening, Tony. So, when I was a kid, my brother would live with us for the summer and on holidays, and then with his mom for the rest of the year, because we had the same dad, different moms. And he had ADHD, bad. But my dad would never give him his medication. It, like, he hated it. He said it was, my dad is a chemist. He has a degree in biochemistry and nutrition. So he's not uneducated at all about this stuff. He knows exactly how it affects the brain and all of that. But he was very against it. He did not want my brother on that stuff. He also said it was like, it's like, which I've done, it is like meth in a way. It is. If you've ever used it to get high, it does. If you don't have ADHD, it can affect you in that same way. But I grew up in a similar situation where my brother was getting the medication at his mom's, and then at my dad's, at our house, he wouldn't give it to him. And I know he did that out of love. And I know that some people have their thoughts about it, and that's fine. I mean, that's fine. It will not offend me at all. But I'm just saying, not everybody sees things the same. And even some people who are very educated on chemicals and what goes in our body and what we need, and things like that. So, and he refused to give it to my brother. Hey, Corky, very similar molecular structure to meth. I'm against it too, said Corky. Okay. I personally wouldn't give it to my child either, but I have my. That's a very unique perspective to have with your dad being a chemist. I know. See, my dad is really, even still to this day, we eat dinner together every day. He's very, he's very big about not having a lot of sugar, having a balance. Uh-oh. For a second. Here, big wellness and exercise and drinking a lot of water and no artificial sweeteners, no sugar, like just all kinds of things. Only certain fats, like healthy fats, not necessarily, saturated fats. Hey, Wolfie, can I make an appointment with your dad? So it's just interesting that, it's not, I don't know. It's just, my whole point with that is to say, hey, Mandy girl, not everybody feels kind of stuff. And just because you feel a certain way doesn't mean you're not educated. But certain people have, they think they know what's best for their kids. I don't think it would be good for a kid at all to come on and off of that. So don't get me wrong. I don't. I think it would be ups and downs, ups and downs. And I think the best thing would be if the parents could agree. And if maybe one parent didn't want something so strong, try something else, or I don't know. I feel like there's better options. But there are times when, like my dad's ex-wife, would not even talk to him about that stuff. She was not a nice lady at all. And so there was no talking it out or whatever. Oh, I love you, Wolfie. Been here for 35 months. Holy moly. Medicine withdrawals are very bad. My sister-in-law thought Ritalin would make her kid behave more. He is still naughty. There are so many alternatives these days to stimulants. Yeah, that's what I would do personally. But I just thought it was interesting. Coffee is the answer. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think that coffee would be good for kids either. And I would not parent like him at all. But if we don't believe he was involved in the disappearance, we have to know he's desperate and grieving. So it's like, how do we handle these situations? And people criticizing what he says is one thing, but like some of the things you hear are disgusting. I have heard him flat out being accused of being what happened to Sebastian. I can't imagine how hard it would be to co-parent without all of the drama mixed in. Alcohol was one hell of a withdrawal. Oh my gosh, my sis gives her son coffee. Neat Noodle called in for reinforcements on the grill. Teacup says, I wouldn't parent the way Seth does with an autistic child. Feeling better, so had to pop in. Call later, Allie, and I'll fill you in. Okay, Wolfie. Have they ever said what medicine? I thought it was Ritalin, but I could be wrong. Just from what I know and see from my profession, I feel it's way overprescribed. I think a lot of the time parents and or teachers just don't want to deal with their kids, so they drug them up. Oh my God, my mama would have worn us out if we had drank coffee as a kid. Wow, that's funny. Then her as it's the same as drugs. Okay, so let me see my next point. Hold on, I just have to go to my notes in my phone. I don't know if it kicks me. Let me know if it does when I do this. Okay. So then, this is how I'm going to walk back to the computer because I want to still look at some stuff together. So this is how my morning went. I was watching all the stuff about these interviews with Seth. And, I watch different people give commentary on it. Even some people I don't usually watch just because if nothing's on for one, or maybe I just want to hear perspectives. And some of it just, I've talked to a few of my friends, and I won't name them, but friends that also have channels, and they have felt the same way. It is really hard to see some of the things that are being said by Seth and about Seth, and nobody says anything. But then, if it should be all the parents, right? We shouldn't bash any of them. And even criticizing their parenting. I mean, is this the time their child's missing? I don't know. It's just my thoughts. So you go from watching all of that, and then you go and listen to the victim impact statements today at Chad's trial. And hold on a second. I don't remember how to do not disturb on the phone, but I keep getting notifications and it's messing up my StreamYard. Wolfie, are you still here? Will you tell me? It's difficult to find a neutral chat. It's it's either pro Katie and Chris or pro Seth, and then each very negative about the other side. Don't particularly like any of them, but I have great empathy for all. Fiddle dee dee, that's exactly how I feel. The mute so I can tell the kids, hey, I'm on a live stream. Stop yelling. 'Cause they're playing outside, and I walked around to get my computer. Hold on. Hey, Lace Lemons. Hello, you all. So happy to make a live. Oh, we're getting ready to talk about that. So then you hear where it says focus, change it to do not disturb. There you are. Got it. Thank you, Christy. Or thank you. Okay, so I'm an idiot. Then, you go into these. We have Kay, we have Tammy Daybell's dad, her sister, her brother, Colby. We have Annie, Joe Ryan's sister. Oh my God, every single one of them was so heartbreaking. And you think, and let me tell you, some of them have fought with each other publicly. I'm not going to talk about that at all because I have great respect for all of them. So this is why I kind of was thinking about what's happening with Chris and Katie and Seth. Um, some of them have fought and they've done it a little bit in public, but look what they're going through. And when you hear their victim impact statements, and we're going to maybe play a little bit of them, when you hear them and you think about all of this that they're going through, well, no shit, they're fighting with each other. And none of us should be involved. You know, that a child being is any different. I mean, it is different, but it's still trauma. It's devastating. It was still, I don't know. That's just kind of how I feel. Let me see here. Don't get it twisted. I know there's a lot of kids that need the meds. Well, I don't judge parents. I think parents know what's best for their child. And you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit here and try to say I know better for other kids that aren't mine. Half the time, I mean, you guys know how hard it is raising kids. You know what I mean? It is. And half the time you go to bed and you get the kids to sleep and you think, you sit down, I do this, and I think, did I do my best today with them? Like, did I maybe I shouldn't have raised my voice over that. Or maybe I should have let them do this. They really wanted to. Or I don't know. You just sit there and question yourself. It's hard. I was surprised at how many victims in Chad's sentencing brought up how they are affected by the family splitting up. The impact that has had seems to be monumental. Chad's face throughout everything. Oh my goodness. Oh, Music City Mom. His son's name is Sebastian. What do you mean? Because it wasn't really about him? That's how all of it's starting to feel for me. It's like, how is this? I don't know. I'm lost in it. I'm kind of like, I feel lost. I'm like where I'm at with it all. Always, Allie. Then I start wondering, do I spoil her too much? Yes, I know. I do that too. That's okay, Music City Mom. Not all parents ask themselves those questions. All right, hold on, you guys, just one second. Maybe I should put in chat, thank you to Music City Mom. Because she won't hear this until later. I do it every night, Allie. Question everything I do with my girls. But I've been told that if you even question it, you're an excellent mom. If you weren't, you wouldn't give it a second thought. I've heard that before, trio girl mom. And yeah, I mean, all we can do is do our best. I don't know. It's a tough job. It really is. Okay, now one second. Okay. Now I'm on here on my computer. It was a really important reminder how far reaching these tragedies truly are. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at some things from the sentencing. I just want to, just a couple parts of it. I don't even know what I want to do with my channel anymore. I think about it like, I'm just not sure. I think I'm going to change direction somewhat because, and maybe it's what I'm like the media I'm taking in. Maybe it's totally all my fault, but like, I'm just starting to feel so depressed with what true crime is becoming in ways like, and I'm really interested in like, in a lot of the cases we talk about, and like, for instance, Idaho, I cannot wait to find out every detail. I don't really care. I never watch the videos. Well, I watch Melissa debunk people on Idaho, but I'll never watch any of the other stupid shit that comes out about Idaho. But when the facts come, that's what I'm interested in. So I'm just wondering like how I should shift, what I should do. Maybe I should start doing pre-record. I don't know what I'm going to do, but turn it into a cooking and crime rally. I don't cook. I do not cook. I mean, I've tried sometimes, but I'm not very good at it. The channels that give true crime a bad name, I don't consider them true crime. They're drama. You're 100% right. You really are. Thank you, Mandy. Well, you know what? I love doing them, but that's just the thing. They don't do very well either. And we're waiting, like also waiting on those files, like the calls to come. It's just starting to drag on and on and on and become so damn depressing. I don't know. I just don't know. Side note, I did order something that was really cool. It's called Nerdy Nuts. It's peanut butter with all these mix-ins. You guys should check it out. Hey, Teresa. Okay, wait, I wanted to read this. There's nothing wrong with changing your platform. I've had the same platform for 10 years now, and I just don't have any more steam. So I'm going to change mine. Well, maybe I'll kind of do that too. That's somewhat what I'm thinking. I think we should do closed cases to see what went wrong. Well, I wonder, people are going to start requesting the things from, which part, Melissa? People are going to start requesting things from Daybell. Okay, so let me just pull this up first. I know this weekend we're going to talk about the potential serial killer in Oregon. And I do believe that one of the family members of one of the victims is going to come on. And not really to discuss the case, but I think we're going to discuss what she's been through trying to find her stepsister and get justice for her and get police to listen and trying to put I don't know. We're going to talk about more of what the family has been through. She can't, the case, it's going to trial. So I don't even want to try to get into that too much with her, but there is an important conversation to be had there. Melissa Jade, he had a court hearing yesterday. It was interesting. I was watching some of that. Teresa, I saw that you streamed it. This is not what I want to do. It was interesting. But, I mean, I don't know. Ann Taylor, how do you guys feel about Ann Taylor? Okay. First, I just want to play this clip, and I did take this from Lynn's channel. I'll put the link in here. But this is a part where Tammy's sister, we'll flip around in the thing just a little bit and just listen and hang out for a few. But until at least 20 minutes. And Melissa goes live at 8:30. So I want to go over there. But so you guys know that Pryor talked quite a lot about Tammy's health. It's kind of a thing that Tammy was unhealthy and this could have been a natural death and all of that kind of stuff. So let me show you.
I would not be a good sister if I did not defend Tammy as well. She was made out by some in this court as if she was lazy and fat and dying from an illness.
You go, girl.
Look at me right now. I am the same age as Tammy was when she died. She was in better health than I am right now.
Yeah.
Do I look like I am dying? It is not a crime to be a middle-aged woman trying to be healthy and still play a video game or eat fast food occasionally.
Boom.
I would not be a good sister if I did not defend Tammy as well. She was made out by some in this court as if she was lazy and fat and dying from an illness.
You go, girl.
Look at me.
I love that. But listening, I think we'll just listen for a little bit because it truly gives us just a little bit of insight of what they go through, man. And it's been horrific. Like I said, there's a moment where Colby says, I am motherless, fatherless, brotherless, and sisterless. And I'm just like, oh my God, imagine that. Freaking imagine. And then fucking Chad Daybell sitting at the middle of all of it. Ugh. Wait, Lil Red said she wants you to see her picture, MJ. She's got a tinfoil hat on. Melissa, I agree with you. So I want to, about Ann Taylor. Meg says, I love Ann Taylor. Ann Taylor is Brian Koberger's attorney. She is a very good attorney. But, you know, it's her job. I know that it's her job, but it's annoying to see like such little details being torn apart when I also do believe that Koberger, they have the right guy. I know many people do not, but I think that they're jumping to conclusions, like you say in your comment. They're taking every little thing. Oh, they never gave this to them. They didn't give that to them. Oh my God, blah, blah, blah. Can we not wait for trial? Can we not wait for the trial to come out so we can get the evidence? I mean, it's so annoying. I'm sorry. It's so annoying. And Taylor is a badass, but BK is still guilty. I wish someone would recap the hearing. I don't want to watch it all. I only watched like 30 minutes of it, and I think it went on for a while, but she was like, when I watched, she had an officer on the stand from Moscow, and she was asking about, you know, for instance, the year, remember they put out a 2011 to 2013 Elantra, and then it changed to up to 2016. And she was kind of asking, how did you come to this conclusion? He's like, I had an expert tell me, you know, I'm not the expert. Basically, I was going off of someone else's words. It was just, she was kind of looking for, I don't know, just things that probably to me don't matter as much, but I don't know. Fiddle D says, I got nervous and anxious when they announced the verdict was in, and it really hit me then too, that I couldn't imagine what feelings the loved ones were going through. You can tell the sister wants to hit Chad upside the head. Imagine her whole family, her dad. Oh my God. I think we'll listen to some of that first. Oh my goodness gracious. I wonder if Bendy's seen this yet. Her dad, all of them. But just imagine, like, this is the man that your little girl, your daughter, not little girl, but whatever, your little girl comes home with, and you see them build a family, and you probably do Christmas together and all the things together over the years. And then this happens. Hey, Jennifer. Oh, Misty, I'm glad that you're here, and I hope you're feeling okay. I have not been very good at keeping up with everything in the chat, because sometimes when I'm talking and getting on a tangent about something, I don't watch chat. People act surprised that Ann Taylor is doing her job and using her wording correctly. Sheesh. I quit watching Idaho 4 stuff. Will you start watching again, though, when the trial happens? Brett Payne, the lead investigator who wrote the PCA. Thank you, Miss Melissa Jade. Are you going to do a live on it? I'm looking forward to seeing the full timeline, too. I did notice when he was up there, they were talking about, you know, we came to this conclusion because of this, that, you know, cameras nearby. I can't wait to see the statements from the two other roommates that were there, the two surviving roommates. Cannot wait to see all of that in court. Like, and I have a question. Are they So when they're filing some of these motions or putting some of this evidence in, is it available in the public file, or do they have it sealed? I'm sure it's sealed, but because they seal everything. It's not surprising that everything is compartmentalized. He is not a mapping expert. So that's who wrote that up. Not surprising in my opinion. No, I agree with you. I completely agree. Ain't nothing but a thing. Chad and Lori did this for selfish reasons. All the heartbreak for what? And then imagine how Tammy's own children have basically shunned everyone but Chad. I know. And her mom passing away before there was ever justice for her. You should, Melissa. I would love to see that. Only watch hearings or family interviews for Idaho now. Well, that's the way it's going to be with all these cases, and it's freaking sad. But there's so much misinformation. I don't know. It's really frustrating. But like, I should stop watching the people just talk about all the interviews in Sebastian's case, because it's making me crazy. It is literally making me crazy. And I don't know. It's just not good. Every day to go through like the emotional roller coaster that it is. I should just start watching if there is an update from police. Same way with Summerwell's, information. Unless it comes from police. I'm going to do Noah Pressgrove tomorrow. Shout out to Dietz for bringing that case to a lot of our attention. Jonesin has also been doing great coverage. Well, let me drop their links. And I don't know anything about it. Like I said, I woke up the other night and I think that Dietz was talking about it, but I went like right back to sleep. So I missed it. But I'll definitely be watching. All right, let's see. We're going to get to this. I'm going to play some of this, but I just like chatting with you guys. It's more of a laid back, just hang out. I really can't see myself cover Idaho until trial. Me either, but I do know one thing I think I'm going to start doing again. Remember when I would do those interviews, like I interviewed you, Amber, I interviewed Melissa. If you guys are new here and you haven't seen those, when I started my channel, like I wanted to talk to different true crime creators, and I think I'm going to do that again, like a part 2, like a second series, you know what I mean? If that was series 1, like a series 2, and try to talk. I have a few people in mind. I think it'd be interesting. I do not understand how they can sit and listen to what Chad did to Tammy and still support him. Man, I don't know. The kids. I can't even get involved in Sebastian's case on social media. It's horrible. I know. It is. It is. Oh my God. It is so frustrating. Michelle Michelle After Dark has been doing exceptional coverage on that case. Like, she's one of the places where I feel like you can go, and she's calling out if there's bullshit. She's not running with it. She's continuously putting the clips of the police saying parents are cooperating, no signs of foul play. They are when the police say that, they are very matter of fact. Now, I know they can lie, but still, if we're just trying to look at the facts and what's being put out there, like, she does a really good job at doing that. Which I think all of you guys, you, Amber, Melissa, you guys that are in here, Dietz, I know all of you guys do excellent coverage and don't just run with bullshit, but there are a lot of channels that do. I can't wait to watch, Melissa. I'll be watching. I'm so sorry, Misty. Pancreatitis is no joke. It hurts very bad. Oh, me too, Trio Girl Mom. Oh, I love your picture. I like being able to see you guys. I'm glad I changed the banner size or whatever. Yay, okay. It was fun. I loved that. So much has changed. I love those too, and I loved interviewing all you guys. I love doing the panels too. They did not listen. That is why. JP told them not to listen to trial. What do you guys think about the Micah stuff and JP? And that's still kind of going. Just before we start playing, I want to play a couple moments of this, but what do you guys think about that? Has she changed? I got so turned off by her Summer Wells coverage, so I haven't watched for a while. So I never really watched her through that. I will say, though, my coverage on that was a mess, too. I was talking about rumors. Like, I've just evolved as a person and a creator. I wouldn't do things the same at all. So maybe that's what's happened, but I didn't watch her back then too much. But I know now, she is talking about the things that come out in all these interviews and stuff, but she's basically saying it's all bullshit when it is. And, trying to keep it factual. So, and I don't see her being like too like bashing the parents. Like, I can see having your opinions one way or another, but calling them like fat fuck, you piece of shit. Like, I know you know where your child is. Where's your child? And oh, what about the where's the baby shirts and Katie come clean soap? And oh my God, like, it is just, what the fuck, man? These are real people missing their child. I swear to God, I just know I would be eaten the fuck alive because I let Bentley watch Walking Dead, and sometimes he stays up super late with me, and I love that because I get to spend one-on-one time with him, and just so many different things that I could get torn apart for if my child went missing. It just, I don't know. I can't watch Sebastian's case. It's so messy and personal. Okay, Abellis. Micah's case is very interesting. I'm curious of the FBI's investigation. Me too. I hope they'll come out and say something. I still hold the same opinion, but also don't watch any creator coverage on it. I am over the Micah stuff. People are getting wild with speculation. Noah's case is so wild and sad. Let's see. Corky, I think she was talking about Michelle. She wasn't a fan of her coverage then, but I will say I've been watching her. I've been enjoying her with Sebastian. I need to just stop watching anything with him till police come out with something. Okay. So let me get this. Case. Oh my God. Hold on.
We know you've already testified in this case, but can you remind the jury which victim you were related to?
I am related to JJ Vallow. He was my grandson, and Tylee Ryan is my stepniece.
Thank you. Did you prepare a statement, a victim impact statement today?
Yes,
Will you please read that for the jury?
sure. Today is an incredibly difficult and bittersweet day. I am filled with pride as I remember and speak about what an amazing grandson we had, and grief-stricken at speaking about how devastated I am in his loss. I stand here today.
Oh, wow.
I sit
Like
here
the laundry.
try and explain the immense pain.
So JP Miller went on Justin from TikTok's channel?
That me and everyone in my family continues to endure daily. But how do I do that? What words carry the strength and impact to really ensure you feel the joy and love that JJ created and the impact of his death? There aren't any. No words can truly describe and fully demonstrate the depth of pain his death has created in our hearts and our lives. The loss of a grandchild is immensely painful under normal circumstances for any grandparent. The death of a grandchild at the hands of another brings pain that is indescribable. If you remember, JJ was born with the name Kanan Todd Trahan. He was born May 25th, 2012. He would have celebrated his 12th birthday just a few short days ago. I will call him Kanan while I talk about his first year of life because that is who he was then. He was born a fighter, 10 weeks premature, weighing in at a tiny but mighty 2 pounds and 14 ounces. Minutes of being born From minutes of being born, he was transferred to a hospital with a neonatal intensive care unit where he spent weeks fighting to grow. He was about 2 hours old when I saw him for the first time. Seeing him, I knew he was my grandson. He was the mirror image of my son, Todd, his biological father. Todd has always loved him and always will. Kanan's
Okay, so just quickly, when didn't Tammy's sister at Lori's trial, Tammy's dad didn't speak, right? But he did today. I think that we need to hear part of that. But I'm not going to listen to all of this. I really just wanted to skip around, but this is the first one I found. Let's kind of go like to the halfway point and just listen.
I made it a few months before I had to get to my JJ. So in November of 2014, I made my first trip to Hawaii, quickly returning once again in December with Larry. We would visit about every 4 to 5 months because it was such a long trip to Hawaii from Louisiana. One we were happy to make, and we stayed for as long as possible, normally 10 to 14 days. We needed to soak up as much JJ time as we could. I remember one trip in the winter of 2015, JJ stayed home with me while Charles and Lori went to church. I was making a big pot of gumbo.
Remember Lori Vallow speaking at her? Oh my
I
God,
had to
it's
bring
all
a little
coming
bit
back
of
to
Louisiana
researching
to
for this.
Charles, and JJ was excited to help me. We pulled up a stool and he poured in ingredient after ingredient. I can still see him standing next to me, intently pouring chicken broth in the pot. Afterwards, he climbed on the counter and just watched, taking it all in. It is a memory that I will always cherish and dearly hold on to. During our visits, Charles or Lori.
So, oh, Bellis, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. I appreciate that so much. So when you hear the families on here kind of going at each other and stuff like that, we've seen it with all these cases. We've even with the victim impact statements we're listening to. And it just, I don't know, it just hit my ears weird today after hearing all the garbage from around Sebastian's case to going to this. I don't know, man. It did something inside of me. I do want to play something.
Would comment on how JJ would do things with us that were a stark contrast for them. He always awoke at the crack of dawn, never sleeping any later.
Look at Chad's face.
When visiting, we would have JJ sleep with us. He would sleep until 9 or 10 o'clock, which astonished them. There was never a doubt.
Do you guys think he's going to get the death penalty? What did they say? It has to be shockingly, I know that's the name of like a movie or something, but prior, oh no, it was the judge that was going over extremely wicked and shockingly evil. If it was heinous, atrocious, cruel, all of these words. And come on now, Tylee was dismembered and burned and she was found, in pieces. Okay. JJ, an autistic 7-year-old boy, had a bag put over his head and tape wrapped around it by his freaking family. Hey, Jonesin. If that is not shockingly wicked and all of that stuff, then what the hell is? Do you think he's going to get the death penalty? Jonesin, we were just talking at the beginning. We talked a little bit about some of the... Actually, you did a great job going over it. What I did watch, I wasn't there for all of it, going over the interview, but how cruel some people are kind of being towards Seth and Chris and Katie, and how we just talked about it like this because it's what I listened to today. And then we kind of went into these victim impact statements that happened today and just listening to everything these families go through and how they're feeling. And of course they're going to be fighting. And of course it's going to be traumatic. When you have a bunch of people on YouTube in your ear encouraging you to keep going on panels, to keep talking shit, to keep all that stuff, of course it's going to happen. And of course they're going to do it. Of course they're going to be out here on the panels night after night. And then you have this TikTok Tony. I don't know. It's just so frustrating to watch it all happen. It really, really is. Hey, Trulia. I don't know. I truly don't think Chad did a lot of the dirty work, so I could see it going either way. I think he will get the death penalty, though. Well, that was a point that Pryor made today, that, Chad wasn't there during the murders of the kids. And then he's like, and potentially did he smother his wife? Maybe, but like, is that that bad that it deserves the death penalty? It was kind of like that. It was just... It's a pretty jarring comparison, Allie. There's creators blasting victims' families on one channel, and on another channel we watch so many people broken, probably forever, from another case. I completely agree. Actually, we were talking about it privately earlier when I was like, I want to talk about this like back to back, because it just, I don't know. Let me drop Jones's link, though, if you guys haven't checked it out. And she has been covering the case. Melissa's going to cover the Noah Pressgrove. Darlene says he has waived his right to address the jury to present mitigating factors to reduce to life. He wants the death penalty. Hey, Velly. Oh, thanks. I try to point out the problems, but also try to remind others he's still a grieving father. Oh, yeah, people are mean AF. I know. It's a freaking mess. I do not think he will get it. I think he should be... He should, but will not. I am okay with being wrong. Wow, really? Let's do a poll really fast. I just want to see what you guys think. Is Chad going to get the death penalty? And in the comments, tell me if you would give it to him. Some people feel like life in prison is worse, and I don't know how I feel. I don't know. Oh, hear myself like that is just, bleh. Okay. Will Chad be put to death? We're not going to listen for long. I just want to
He had an
around a little bit.
of a new niece, especially one as sweet as her. Larry and I were driving to Austin, Texas to visit them on one of many visits, and we passed a roadside stand selling swings made from old tires. I saw one that was a horse complete with a saddle and stirrups. I grabbed Larry's arm and said, "Stop, we have to get that for Tylee." Her brother Colby and stepbrothers Cole and Zach were always saying happy birthday to her. The glow of the candles shining on her face, the huge grin that kids get during the singing hit me like a truck. I took the keys from Larry and went to the car and just bawled until I could compose myself enough to rejoin the party. It was the moment I knew that
Oh, wow, you
JJ
don't know Chad
didn't get
Dabo's
his
face.
birthday song, and it broke me. It was just so wrong. He didn't get to have that joy and feeling of love and celebration of his birthday. It is now grief that we are confronted with yearly, a stark and blaring reminder that we are never going to be able to celebrate that joy with him again. We never know when one of those moments will hit, but I can tell you there have been too many situations in the past few years where we were slammed with the fact that JJ won't hit another milestone. JJ loved school, loved his families, friends, and cousins, especially his cousin Braxy, Brandon Boudreaux's oldest son.
55%
Those
says
two had
no.
such a special
Wow.
bond and love for each other. There were so many lives he touched that feel the immense pain and loss of him being gone. 4 of our grandchildren, near JJ's age, often tell
I didn't see where JP was on Justin on TikTok's live. Okay, so just as a little flashback thing, let's go to this for a moment. After listening to Chad's hearing, to Chad being found guilty today, Lori spoke out at the end of her trial. And I want to listen to that for just a minute with you guys.
Quoting John from the New Testament in the Bible.
It's so unbelievable.
In John chapter 8, verse 7, Jesus says, "He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her." Then in verse 15, Jesus says, "Ye judge after the flesh, I judge no man. And yet if I judge, my judgment is true."
Kathy.
Jesus knows me, and Jesus understands me. I mourn with all of you who mourn my children and Tammy.
You mourn Tammy? Okay,
Jesus
lady.
Christ knows the truth of what happened here. Jesus Christ knows that no one was murdered in this case. Accidental deaths happen. Suicides happen. Fatal side effects from medications happen.
Accidental deaths, suicides, and fatal side effects from medications. She is so damn delusional. She sat there, because with Lori's trial, we got to hear the recording after, but we didn't get to watch live like Chad's. So she heard all the evidence that you guys have been listening to for weeks. I've been listening to on and off. I haven't listened every day, but I listened to a lot of Lori's, and so I didn't really want to listen to it all again. Plus, I mean, who has time for everything? You guys know how it is. But she listened day after day after day to all of that evidence, all of the witnesses. And that's what she has to say? Accident? What? She just blows my damn mind. But I'm curious. You know, Lori Vallow to me seems like somebody who is truly mentally ill. She's still evil and needs to be in prison, but she's sick in the head. Truly, I believe that. Letitia is faking it. Now, she's sick in the head too in a different way, but she's faking her mental illness. I don't believe that Lori is.
That no one was murdered in this case.
Fiddle dee dee.
Accidental deaths
She is brainwashed.
happen. Suicides happen. Fatal side effects from medications happen. I have a different perspective in life because in 2002, when I was pregnant with Tylee, I died in the hospital while in labor with her. They tried to stop my labor. They put me on the table and they put something in my IV, and I felt my spirit falling to the floor.
This is Lori, Natasha.
I was standing near my pregnant body, watching the doctors try to revive me, which took them a few minutes. In that time, my sister Stacy was standing to my left. I turned to hug her and was surprised that her spirit was as tangible as a physical body.
Lori's trial was actually put off multiple times because she wasn't competent. But anyways, we don't have to listen to all of that. I'll drop the link so y'all can listen. Listen, I'm leaving for the beach in the morning, so I'm going to jump off here. Melissa's live in a couple minutes. But I'm definitely going to still be going live at the beach, and I don't know. I'm going in a new direction. I don't know what that's going to be yet. I don't know how that's going to look, but I hope you guys will join me on the journey, of course, and see where we go from here. I pushed it back. Melissa, I wasn't rushing. I wasn't rushing. I wasn't rushing anyways. I was just going to go listen to you for a little bit and pack and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't really know where my place is in this whole thing anymore. But Joneson, are you still here? Oh, I hope so, because that was one of the people I wanted to ask to do one of the interviews. Do you think we could get Chris Watts' calls in prison in Wisconsin? I would love to hear his calls, but I feel like for some reason that you can't get them from Wisconsin, like similar to where Tisha's at now. Oh, we are Velcro to you. I love you guys. Truly, I will definitely be along for your amazing journey. Thank you. Wow. And I'll be there for you guys along the way too. I'm so over Tisha Lynn. Well, we have one more set of calls at least that we're waiting on. And I am really excited to go. To get them. Sorry, I got a message that kind of distracted me. But I'm really excited to get them because they come from the month where she changed her plea to not guilty by reason of insanity, and it was all in the news. And then I think we should find other people, that other jail calls and stuff. Like Melissa was talking about Chris Watts. We've talked about Jodi Arias. Nope, on Chris Watts. I like your dolphin pod. Dietz would be really good too. I think Jensen is gone now. Oh, Amber, thank you. And I appreciate you so much. Do whatever the hell you want. Thank you. Thank you, guys. And I'll be here back for you. No, I didn't, Tess. I actually never even submitted it yet. I need to do that. I promise I'll do it this weekend. And hopefully we'll hear back soon. Start a mechanics channel. Mayla's mom, people have been getting those. A matter of fact, one is the docket. I'm pretty sure he got it. She has stepped over the edge in the name of God. His dumbass followed. Is that a defense to save his life since she's too crazy to face the death penalty? Did he follow or was he leading her? I don't know. Gun reviews and car parts. MK and K Braze, you guys would be happy about that. I'd love to hear their jail calls. I want to know about your business. Yeah, I think some people are already getting those because I just saw a video of her, like, I think one of her interviews or one of her transport vehicles or videos. I'm losing my damn mind. All right, you guys, I'm for real going to let you go. I hope to see you over at Melissa's. Thank you. I will try to have a fabulous time. I want to do something like with you guys, do some kind of live, okay, out on like maybe at the beach at sunset or I don't know, something, but I'm definitely not going to be taking like the whole week, not on YouTube like I did the last time. That's not going to happen. So anyways, I'm sure the calls will come while I'm there like they did last time. But thank you guys for being here with me. I love and appreciate you guys. I really do. I hope you have the best weekend. And yeah, I'll talk to you soon. If you have anything that you guys want to talk about, let me know. And yeah, I don't know. We'll find our way in this world together. But anyways, you guys have a good night. And thank you for everything. And I'll see you soon. Bye.